different features, etc. And I actually wanted to start this review by actually showing you me in the chair. Reason is because I am a big guy. I'm 6'3", 255 pounds, and I was a little bit worried, would I fit into this chair? And I do. Not only do I fit into it, I fit into it comfortably, as you can see, with plenty of room to spare. So I was really appreciative that they made these so that even wider bodies, such as myself, could use them. But what I wanted to do now was show you some of the up-close features of the chair, and then we're going to take it out for a demo. I'm going to try it out in a couple of different terrains. We're going to try it on rock. We're going to try it in grass. We're going to take it over some bumps. I'm also going to show you inside of my house what this looks like, and then I'm going to show you how to fold this up whenever you want to actually transport it. So let's get into the rest of the review. This chair has a ton of great features. I can't go over all of them, but let me share with you some of my favorites. First, let's start with the backrest. It is adjustable, so if you're somebody tall like me or somebody shorter, you're sure to have a setting that will give you a comfortable and supportive experience. Both of the armrests are adjustable, so they can go up and down as needed for a little bit of extra room, although it's a pretty wide chair already, which is nice. The seat cushion, very comfortable, actually attaches with some Velcro to the frame, so easy to remove for cleaning. Over on the top of this, you're going to see a safety strap, which we love. On the right-hand side arm, we've got a pouch or a bag for some personal belongings. Now, this chair does come with an extra bottle holder or cup holder that you can attach to that arm there in case you need something like that. If we look actually now at the back of this chair, there's another pouch for personal belongings. Now, this is where your instructions are going to be whenever you first receive the chair. So there's a lot going on top that we love, but now let's take a look at the nuts and bolts of how this actually works. Down here, we've got a nice wide footrest. The tires are non-puncture tires, which I love. Look at these red springs, though. This is really going to help with the comfort whenever you're going over different types of terrain and bumps, and I'll show you more of that whenever I test this later in the video. Moving to the back of the chair, you're going to see the two motors that are attached to each tire and the red levers. I'm going to talk more about those in a second. The battery box here, this is where you charge the chair, as well as connect the remote that controls how the chair moves. So going back to these two motors, you're going to notice that each one has a red lever on each one. Those red levers are safety levers to make sure that the chair doesn't move when you don't want it to move. So what I'm actually going to do here is show you how this works. Each lever moves up and down. So I'm going to push this lever right here down. You see it click? See it click. Now watch these back tires. They now roll freely. But in this mode, you can't use the remote. To use the remote, you can only use the remote whenever these levers are pushed up. And what you're going to see is now whenever I try to move this wheelchair, those back tires don't scoot anymore. Now you can use this in electric mode. A very smart design here to make sure that the chair moves when you want it to move. But safety is also here. Look at this. This came with a couple of safety bars that have wheels attached to them. That way it helps to make sure that this chair won't tip backwards if you happen to hit a bump too hard or you happen to take a curve too hard. Very smart design with that. So this lever right here I'm pointing to, this is how you fold this in half, and I'll show you how that works later whenever you need to transport the unit. So this whole thing, very well designed, was very easy to set up and assemble, almost had no assembly because most of it was done. My first test, I wanted to take this around my basement a little bit because it's got some pretty tight corners and some tight hallways that you can't even turn around. I found that the wheelchair was extremely easy to use and that the remote was very responsive to exactly what I wanted to do, even kind of backing up here when I got into a tight corner. So the inside test went fantastic. Now the next thing is, let's take this outside and see how it does. Putting this chair even more to the test, I took it through my grass in an uphill yard, and it did fantastic. Now I'm going to roll through some rock here just for some rougher terrain, extremely comfortable. Now let me show you a couple of other tests that I did. So I want to show you a few things. One is there's a bit of a drop down there coming out of my garage. This thing handled totally fine. And I like this chair because whatever speed I need to go, I can change it easily with the remote. Here I'm going downhill, and look, there's a little bit of a drop off right there. This chair was totally fine. I almost didn't even feel it at all. Again, rolling through some more rock just to give you a little bit of a glimpse of what this looks like in real time. Gonna go back up onto here. Pretty big step up right there, and as you can see, this chair handled that with no problem. The turning on this is fantastic. You can take nice wide turns if you want to, or more of a turn on a dime. So you watch this right here. I'm gonna take it and just turn around real quickly there. Nice for handling. Definitely depends on the type of user that's in the wheelchair. But here I'm gonna do a little bit more kind of long, wider turns, and then I'm gonna turn it here once I get here on the dime, and look at that. Like in one place, I'm able to turn around completely 360 if I wanted to. back down off the drop off just to give you another glimpse of that again. Back into the rock. This thing is handling absolutely fantastic, and I can't reiterate enough. I am a heavy guy at 255 pounds. This thing has no problem moving me around anywhere that I want to go. Back up one more time. All right, now let me show you how to fold this up for whenever you need to transport it. First thing you're going to want to do, disconnect the chair from the battery pack. After that, the lever that I showed you at the beginning of this video, all we're going to do is we're going to take that and push it down right here as I'm pointing, as you can see. Push that in. Once you push that in, the chair really will fold over, like you can see here, pretty much on its own all the way down. Then what you can do is you pick it up just like this. Now you can drag it around, carry it around, because it's going to roll thanks to those safety bars that I showed you at the beginning of this video as well. So it's all tidied up. Now, if you want to break it down even further, you can put it into two different pieces. Let me show you how to do that now. So basically what you're going to do is there is another cable that you're going to have to detach, because we're going to separate this completely, the chair from the base. We're going to detach the cable, and then on each side of this chair is a safety lever. So I'm doing the other one, as you can see here. You're going to do both of those safety levers. Then once you do that, what will happen is you can simply just take the top part and push it off from the bottom part, as you can see here. It becomes two different pieces. This is extremely helpful because sometimes you might need to travel in such a way where the entire chair can't fit all together. So what we're going to do is separate them, and now you can carry and transport each one separately. A really smart design for this chair. Oh, here's the power button here at the top. You're going to see this is the battery at the top. You're going to see how much battery you've got. At the bottom, there's a little thing that shows you how much speed you got. So as I increase this, you see that goes up and down. This right here is just a horn. In case you need some help, you can hold this down, just to let people know you need something. Now this right here is actually really cool. This button is a flashlight. There's a small light on the underside of this. So if you're out navigating whenever it's a little bit dark, you can use that, press that down whenever you need just a little bit of extra light, which I thought was really cool. The joystick, though, is where the magic happens here. It's very responsive, easy to use, but it's got a little bit of a resistance on it to make sure that you are only moving it when you actually want to move it. But very easy to use, this overall remote. So look, in the end, this wheelchair absolutely exceeded my expectations from the time that I took it out of the box, because it was pretty much assembled already, through going over all the features, and even through the testing. This thing was fantastic. So if you're looking for a wheelchair solution, whether it's for yourself or whether it's for somebody else for whatever reason, maybe they're aging, maybe they're hurt, recovery, whatever it is, if you need easy to use, accessible transportation, you should definitely be considering this wheelchair.